Hey everybody, I wanted to go live so that we can talk about how to get approved for your first credit card. Let's definitely talk about how to get approved for your first credit card. So if you guys don't have a credit card, then how to get approved for your first credit card, or if you even messed up your credit before and now you have to kind of get back in there, get credit again. Maybe you filed bankruptcy before, then we're going to definitely talk about how to get approved for your first credit card. I have an outline here. It's so much I want to go over. I'm going to remove the comments for now, only because I need to be able to focus, because when people play when people watch it again, I want them to be able to really get everything I want to say, and I do not want to get distracted because I can easily get distracted. And if you guys need anything from me, it's all going to be on my website, rakita.com, and I also have to put it in the comments for you guys so that you guys can have it. Let me put in a comment and then let's get started. Now, understand that, okay, perfect, that you may not be ready to get a credit card right now, and that may be okay, but you need to know is the steps to actually getting a credit card. And then I'm going to talk to in terms of, I have a 15-year-old daughter. She's an authorized user on my credit cards. I'm going to talk to in terms of like her level all the way down there for those people that don't know, just to make sure everybody understand what's going on. So first, you guys, if you want to get a credit card, a lot of times you have to really build your credit. You have to be responsible to even get credit cards. So you have to understand like your credit scores, and you have to look at your credit scores. So I tell people, if you want to get a credit card, because they have multiple credit cards, if you want to get a credit card without having to put a deposit down, and usually you have to put a deposit down because they don't trust you. You may have never had credit before, or maybe you messed up your credit before and now they see the negative accounts and they don't trust you to actually give you another credit card. So if you guys want to get a credit card without having to put money down, make sure that this is literally your first credit card, because you can go with a company called Capital One. Capital One can give you your first credit card. Maybe you can go to your local credit union and get your very first credit card, and these can be unsecured credit cards. But if you're looking to get your first credit card and you kind of have somewhat of a credit score, try to have your credit score over a 580 if you don't want to put any money down. Anything under a 580, just know, okay, I got to build my credit, I got to boost my credit. I can't just get a credit card without having to put a deposit down. Or if you do get one without having to put a deposit down, you guys, you're probably going to have something called a maintenance fee. You're going to get one of those credit cards that's one of them predatory lenders, and you really don't want those credit cards that give you a $400 limit, $300 limit, but you have an annual fee of $79 or maintenance fees of over $100. You just don't want that. So always try to have your credit score over a 580 in terms of not wanting to put anything down to get the credit card. So the higher your credit score, the easier it should be for you to get approved for credit cards. But also they want to see what accounts are also on your credit report. So if you don't have any credit at all, you don't have any negative accounts, go with Capital One or go with your local credit union. If you guys have negative accounts technically on your credit report, we're going to look at another list where you can pre-qualify for credit cards. It's right on my website, rakita.com. It's a list of over 45 different accounts where you can actually pre-qualify without a hard inquiry, and hopefully you can be able to get approved for some that you really like. So you have to just basically understand your credit score. And then next, we got to research some of your options. So let's actually look at the website now so I can show you some options for certain people. And then we'll go deeper into other things. So this is my website, rakita.com. Okay, so this is my website. If you're new to the website, I'm going to be redoing it. I just wanted to make sure I put the content on there first. You got to produce all of the stuff, even put it on here. I'm going to be redoing it, but this is the layout now. You can schedule a call with me or somebody on my team. You can get free dispute letters for those people that's trying to get their first credit card, but they filed bankruptcy. They trying to get their first credit card because they messed up their credit. Now you're trying to get back into credit. Get the free dispute letters and send it to the credit bureaus and start working to remove those accounts. And it will be emailed to you instantly. I think I just put your name, phone number, and your email address in. And then I have more dispute letters here. I have my membership here for those people that want to have unlimited calls, unlimited access to me. And also, if you want me to help you come up with credit, options for your credit and help you work to remove your negative accounts, I have my membership here. Now, this is what we're really going to be talking about today, though, because we're trying to get approved for your first credit card. So I have different lists. These are my top credit cards I really just like. Credit cards that can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry. This is a good list for those people that you had credit in the past, you're trying to build back up. This is the list that you're going to want to look at, the pre-qualify with no hard inquiry list. And then also you have the best credit cards for bad credit. That can be a list too for those people that have bad credit, but now you're trying to get you another credit card, but you don't know which credit card to get. That could be a great list for students, travel, to build credit if you guys are in the building stage. These are credit cards to build credit, gas, rewards, and cash back. Now, I want to talk about the list that I want to go over. Let's just go right into the best list that I really, really like is pre-qualify with no hard inquiry. Because anytime I apply for a credit card, I want to make sure I can pre-qualify for that credit card. And I want you guys to be able to pre-qualify for a credit card too, because if you can pre-qualify for it, that means they can tell you yes or no without a hard inquiry. So it's so many different accounts on here. So we're talking first credit card. You never had a credit card ever. You're trying to build credit. Then that credit card is, let me actually put it in here. So that's the Capital One Secure. We don't want to do that one. If you never had credit, they're probably most likely going to be able to just give you that Platinum. And this is that credit card here. So the Capital One Platinum MasterCard, this can be great for when you first off, you trying to build credit. Capital One will give you a chance, even if you don't even have a credit report in the system. This is like one of those very, very first credit cards you can actually get. And this is what I suggest. When I first started building my credit, I got the Capital One Platinum MasterCard, and then I also got the Capital One Quicksilver. So definitely look into Capital One because this can be a great one for you. And if you guys have filed bankruptcy in the past too, certain type of bankruptcies, Capital One can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry, but I've seen a lot of people get the Capital One credit card right after bankruptcy. So if you're thinking about getting a credit card, it's going to be your first credit card, and it's probably because you just filed bankruptcy, then try to see if you can get this credit card also. Now, there's multiple credit cards that is on this list that can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry for those people that's building credit. If this is your very first time, stay away from any credit card that's going to give you an annual fee. Try to go with companies like Capital One. I would say try Capital One, try Navy Federal, try Discover. Try to see if you can get any credit cards with those companies. And another great thing that you guys can do also for the people that's just now starting off is what you can do is ask someone, can they add you as an authorized user on their credit card? If they can add you as an authorized user on their credit card, then that can help you have some history added to your credit report so that you can bypass trying to get any secure cards. You can just go straight to Discover and get you just one of their regular credit cards. And you probably start off with a very decent limit. So I will suggest you guys ask like someone if you could be added as an authorized user. But understand too, if you're an authorized user on somebody's credit card and they got any type of late payments, they're using too much money on their credit cards, it's going to hurt your credit score. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be authorized user on everyone's credit card. If they're being responsible, they're paying it on time, they're not holding a high balance, such as we're talking, got to go down to the level of I always tell people don't spend more than 5% on your credit card, or if you're going to spend more than 5%, don't let them report more than 5%. So if you're getting on someone's credit card and they're not paying their balance in full every month, or at least having 5% or lower being reported, then it's a great chance that that card could hurt your credit score. Now, I only say 5%, you really can go up to 29%, but I like to just have that mindset that if I stick to the 5%, I'm always good. Um, y'all ever here to F around and find out, like, if y'all get used to just saying, oh, I just need to have a 30% utilization, then you're not going to have the best out of your credit. And if you get used to just staying at 30%, then one little slip up, you automatically messed up. Like your credit score is going to be a lot lower. Now, when it come down to utilization, you can always pay off your credit cards and your credit score go back up. But my thing is just don't mess around and find out. Like literally, just try to make sure you do the best with your credit cards and don't use anything you can't pay back anyway, or you're going to be paying crazy amount of interest. So we talked about researching some of the credit cards. If you guys are students, let's kind of look at those credit cards because I had a hiccup this semester of school. I'm finally graduating, and I had a hiccup, y'all, that I almost made it where I wasn't gonna be able to graduate. Now I still got the dean said I still got to do something. I had a problem with one of my professors, and I'm like, dude, you are not gonna mess me up right now. But I'm a student, so I understand that there are students that need to get credit cards. Because I see a lot of young people that don't know about credit cards. But I have the best credit cards for students here. So if you're a student, look through this list because it's definitely some student credit cards for those people that's actually a student. So Discover It got a student cashback card, and Discover is a nice company. I love Discover. I got Discover, and also have Chase too. So Chase Freedom Student Credit Card can be a great one for you. And some of these credit cards have like bonuses when you sign up for them too. So definitely look into that. You also got the Saver One Student Rewards credit card with Capital One. So that'd be great if you're a student. The only thing I can tell you all about any of these, for one thing, you can pre-qualify for every credit card on here so far except for Chase. Chase is not going to let you pre-qualify. It's Capital One too. Bank of America. I don't think you're going to be able to pre-qualify for the Bank of America either. But a lot of these credit cards can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry. So if you're going to apply for any of these credit cards, what I would suggest that you do is I want you all to use your student email address, because if you use your student email address, I just feel like you have a greater chance of actually getting approved. Now, some people, when we talking first credit card, some people is going to get to the point where they're not going to be able to get any credit card at all. And that's okay. Okay. And when I say you can't get any credit card at all, I mean you can't get a credit card without having to put a deposit down. They don't trust you because maybe you had a bankruptcy in the past. Um, Maybe you had a lot of late payments, whatever it was, they don't trust you. So if you find that you can't get a credit card at all, then don't think that you're just stuck. You need to just put down a deposit and get you a secure credit card. So again, back on the website, you look at the list that says the best credit cards for bad credit. There are so many credit cards on here that you can get, and some that don't even care what your credit score look like. They do not care. You can file bankruptcy yesterday. You can have a 350 credit score. They don't care, such as Self. Self will give you a chance, and you'll be able to have two accounts reporting with Self. Definitely watch the video to see how their Visa card work, because it is definitely different. But definitely watch a Self video, because this can be a great one for those people that's like, Rakita, I can't get any credit card at all. Like, how do I get my first one? I'm trying to build back up. And you may have had bad credit in the past. Get that Self Visa card. And even that can be for people too that just your first credit card. You can get that too. Say if you are having a hard time, you can't get any credit card. If these credit cards are not going to check your credit at all, some of them do want to verify your identity. So you may have a hard time if they need to verify your identity. And since you don't have a credit score, they can't verify your credit report, you may have a hard time, but just check. Also, credit builder card, they'll give you 2 credit cards, no credit check. It is a $200 deposit for each credit card. You can just get one, you can get 2, but it's still a credit card that you can actually get. You also have Kickoff that can report to the credit bureaus. It's not necessarily a credit card, but it's an account that will report to the credit bureaus as if it's a credit card. And a lot of people had their credit score go up. Look at this person. Theirs went up 74 points when Kickoff reported on-time payment. So definitely it can help build your credit. And once you get any of these credit cards that's on here, Once you get these, just keep the balance low in terms of don't let them report more than 5%. And as you start having credit cards report, you're going to start getting a lot of offers in the mail, especially if you're paying on time. You'll start seeing you're going to get a lot of offers, and these credit cards can possibly increase your credit limit too. Now, I want to move on from the secure credit cards, but I do want to say something about secure credit cards. It's something called secure credit cards that will graduate. So yes, you got to put a $200 deposit down, or you got to put, sometimes you put up to $5,000 down, depending on which credit card it is. I think Discover lets you put up to $2,500 or $3,500 down. Double check these numbers on how much you can put down on them. But some of these credit cards will graduate. And when you put your deposit down, once you close your credit card, that's usually when you get your money back on any secure credit card. But some graduate, where Discover says that if you make your payments on time, you got no new negative accounts, you keep doing good with all of your accounts, even accounts that's just not theirs, it's your whole credit report, your credit scores keep going up. After 7 billing cycles, they'll give you your money back. So say if you put $200 down, they'll give you your money back, plus they'll send you another credit card. Well, yeah, they'll send, you can technically use your same credit card, but they'll upgrade your credit card, and they'll give you a higher limit. So some people go from, they put $1,000 deposit down, they end up at $2,500. Somebody else said they ended up at $2,100, I believe, when they got their increase. But this could be something good, because I'm okay with putting a deposit down on a credit card, but I would rather get your money back and get an increase. So Discover can do something nice for you, where they can actually graduate you and give you your money back, and you can still keep that same credit card, but now they get your money back because they trust you. Navy Federal is also good. You can put a $200 deposit down, and in as little as 3 months, they can graduate you to a $2,000 credit card. So I definitely like the Navy Federal Secure. And we talked about the Capital One Platinum, but they also had a Capital One Platinum Secured. Now this one is kind of different though, because with the Capital One Platinum Secure, they have it where it's going to be a $200 limit, but depending on your credit score, they may say, instead of sending us the whole 200, send us $49 or send us $99, or they may request a full 200, but it's depending on your credit. So you may get the Capital One Platinum Secure credit card and only put $49 down. Capital One will bring the rest of the money to get you to 200. And what you're going to have to do is just use it like a regular credit card. Start using this to build your credit. Once they say in as little as 6 months, they'll review your credit, review your account, and see if they want to graduate you to an unsecured credit card. And then they'll send you back whatever your deposit was. And then you can keep asking these companies for increases. But it's definitely a lot of credit cards on here that you can think about. And one of the credit cards I definitely want you guys to understand is the Open Sky credit card, because you can get the Open Sky credit card right after bankruptcy, because again, no credit check. So look into, if you have filed bankruptcy, you're trying to get your first credit card because you filed bankruptcy, look into like Open Sky self credit builder cards, especially if you still got that bankruptcy report in your credit reports and nobody is giving you a chance. But look into those. Now watch out for annual fees. I kind of said that already. Try to get a credit card where you're not going to have an annual fee. If you're going to have an annual fee, I just don't want y'all starting off like that. Annual fees, especially for these low limit credit cards, are for people that messed up their credit and they're desperate, so they're going to just settle for an annual fee. So I don't want you guys to do that at all. Now I want you guys to check your credit reports. So let me actually pull up a few screens, because you can check your credit reports in a few places, and it's another way you can actually get approved for more credit cards too. So let me actually pull this up so you guys can be able to check your credit reports, especially if you guys messed up your credit before. And the reason why you need to get another, you need to get your first credit card is because you messed up and you starting back over. Okay. So once you start getting into credit, once you start getting credit cards, let me share my screen. Here it is. Okay, perfect. Then you can go to a lot of places to get your credit reports. But if you want to get your credit reports for free, you can go to annualcreditreport.com and they'll give you your credit reports for free. All 3 credit bureaus. Okay, so you can get your credit reports here. If you guys are disputing accounts on your credit reports, trying to get accounts deleted, I do not suggest you get it from here, because if you do, you're allowing them 15 additional days to process your disputes. And if a company, any of these bureaus don't answer your disputes in the 30 days that they're required, then they're required to delete them accounts from your credit reports. So if you get your reports from here, then you're going to allow them 15 additional days. So you're giving them a better chance of getting it together, basically. And I don't want you guys to give them additional 15 days. Um, so I would suggest, if you're in the process of doing disputes, maybe not getting your reports from here until after you send out your first disputes and you get some type of results back. Or if they don't do any results, you send a letter saying, hey, you didn't even process my disputes. Please delete all these accounts, and then list the accounts. And then you can come back here and pull your credit reports also to show that there hasn't been a change, no accounts have been updated. When you're suing too, I just want to throw this out there for people listening. When you're suing, I found that it is better to get your credit reports directly from the bureaus. And yourcreditreport.com could be kind of getting your reports. It is definitely getting your credit reports directly from the bureaus and have an actual printout, instead of just saying, hey, I have my Credit Karma, because this is not going to do. Okay. Credit Karma is not going to do. If you're suing, it's better to get your credit reports from here, especially for those collection companies that did not mark your account as in dispute. Now, another thing is, you can go to Credit Karma and look at your um, credit reports. And then also, Credit Karma got credit cards too, so you can look at the different cards that they have on here. So if you log into your account, they have credit cards that would be individualized to you, and you can see which ones you can actually get approved for. But again, annual fees, get out of here. A milestone card, they probably be a $300 limit for $125 annual fee. Y'all stay away from stuff like that. $0 annual fee, I can see that, but not all of these other like high annual fees. Okay, even at $40, try to get some with no annual fee, because I know that you all could possibly do it. Okay, now at the top they have different type of lists too. They have some for rewards. So if you want any rewards credit cards, cash back, secured. So they have some secure ones for students, 0% or low interest. This is really good. This is my favorite list right now. But keep in mind, like, I'm looking at this like, why do they got Indigo on here? Like, yeah, right. The annual fee is $75. Did I not click the list right? Now they know they wrong for that. This is a lie. Don't even think about getting that one. Or possibly a balance transfer. So it look like they're having problems right now with their website, but you can definitely look on there and see like which credit cards you could possibly get approved for. So you definitely got to check your credit reports. And if you see any errors, I showed you all in the beginning of the video, I have a free dispute letter on my website. So it's no reason why you will keep negative accounts in your credit report. Right here is your free dispute letters, so you can start removing like different accounts from your credit report. So it's no need to just have negative accounts. Now, again, if this your first time getting credit, and especially if you 18, try to see if you can get added to like your parents' credit card as an authorized user. Like I said, I added my daughter to like 7 of my credit cards as an authorized user. I honestly haven't pulled her credit reports yet. But I'm thinking about pulling her credit reports, see if it could be even possible in a way, because I haven't like pulled her credit reports. I just know she authorized user. Um, and one of the cards is her American Express, and that's the one that she's kind of like using right now to learn credit. But she's 15, so I've thought about pulling her reports to see exactly what it would actually look like. But when my daughter turns 18 and she actually started applying for credit, she's going to have all of these credit cards on her credit reports with history, which means, say, while she's on my credit card, they're like, oh, you had authorized user on a credit card with a $9,000 limit. let's go ahead and give you a higher limit. She won't be starting off with credit cards with like $300 limits. She's going to be starting off with credit cards with higher limits because she's an authorized user on my credit card. So that's helping her a lot. So I suggest, if you can, find someone that you can be added as an authorized user on. But again, I told you, they got to make sure that I would say, somebody that's really paying that credit card in full every month and they don't have any late payments. um that's what I would suggest. Anything other than that, you can kind of hurt yourself if you put the wrong account, or if you get added as an authorized user on the wrong credit cards. Now, when you guys get these credit cards, don't be like me. I thought that, say when you get your credit cards, um I used to think, I don't know if I thought, honestly, I don't know, but I used to just think I could spend what I want and just pay the minimum. And then I didn't even, at one point, I didn't even understand, like, just paying the minimum, we won't give you a late payment. I used to just think, oh, I don't have the $25. I started off with credit at 18, young. I wasn't taught about credit. I didn't think, let me just pay the minimum and I would never destroy my credit. Like, a late payment, you guys, would destroy your credit. So with your credit cards, they're going to tell you once a month you have to pay a minimum payment. Make sure you all are paying that minimum payment. I don't care what it is, you make that minimum payment. Um because if you get a late payment on your credit reports, you're going to destroy your credit, and that's not what you want to do. So no matter what, you pay the minimum payment. I don't care if you got $1,000 credit card, the credit card is maxed out. I always tell y'all, don't let them report more than 5%, and you don't have the money to pay that $1,000 off, or I'm telling y'all to pay that off to make sure you don't get charged interest. That's out the door. I don't care what you do, make sure you pay the minimum amount so you don't have a late payment. I can't stress this enough. If you're not going to be responsible to pay back these credit cards, you're setting yourself up for failure right now, and you might as well just not do it. Because if you do wrong by these small limit credit cards, you're not going to get to the point where you're getting $10,000 credit cards. You're getting a mortgage with a low interest rate. You're getting approved for cars with a very low interest rate. You're getting personal loans. You're getting whatever credit you want. You're not going to get to that stage if you mess up with the little $300 credit card. So what I like to do also is I like to make sure I pay the minimum on all of my credit cards. I have it set up on auto pay to pay the minimum, and then I go back in and then I pay extra. And I make sure I do this before the due date. When you guys start getting a lot of credit cards, you do want to start organizing your credit cards. Something I do have, and I feel in for myself, this is just an example for you all, is I have a utilization tracker, because I told you guys this green right here, if you can see this, this green 5%, that's where you're going to see your credit is going to be the best. If you can keep your credit cards at this 5, pay it all the way down to the 5 every month, you're going to be able to get almost any credit card you want. In the future, as you start building history, you're going to start finding, oh my gosh, I got approved for a $2,000 credit card, no annual fee, and they gave me $100 bonus to sign up. You're going to start getting to that stage where credit cards are going to pay you to sign up for them. They're not going to charge you an annual fee. And every month too, they're going to give you cash, not every month, but every time you use your credit card, you can get cash back. Like, sometimes you may see that with like your debit card, like on Wells Fargo, you got a debit card with them, they'll show you can get certain amount of cash back if you spend it at different places. You can get that in general with your credit cards on any purchase too. So I want you guys to be organized with your credit cards. So I have this utilization sheet too on my website. Right here, say utilization sheets. So just Rakita.com, scroll down, you'll see utilization sheets right after my bankruptcy removal letters. And what you want to do is you just want to put the name of your credit cards here. I like to list them by due date too. And if you got 0% APR, um, each of your credit cards are going to charge you interest for using them. A lot of the interest are like 24 to 29% is very, very high. And that's why I tell you all not to hold a balance, because if you check out me paying my, like I used to show you guys how I paid my Apple credit card, paying a statement balance by the due date to never get charged any interest. If I was to pay less than the statement balance, they may charge me $30 just for borrowing some money on a credit card. I don't want to pay $30 to borrow money that I could have just paid you off and had the extra $30 back in my own pocket. So they charge you interest in your credit cards. It's basically a fee that you're going to pay every month on your credit cards if you are not paying your statement balance by your due date. And learn more about statement balance and stuff like that when you get your first credit cards. I'm not sure how deep we're going to get today into that, but I wanted to point out the 0% APR, because the 0% APR means, so for a credit card, they can say, hey, for 12 months, we're not going to charge you any interest. That means that if you got a, let's say this, you got this, let's just keep it right here, this $200 credit card. Usually you do 0%, it's 1,000. You may be talking $10,000. What they're saying is, and you have to make sure you have your balance paid before this day. Whatever your statement balance is, pay that statement balance before this day only, and we won't charge you any interest. You can hold the balance. Like right now, when I'm making this video, is July 27, 2024, right? So I will have, say with this 0% credit card, is just an example. Say if I had a $100 balance, just an example, I can actually hold that balance on this credit card. They won't charge me interest. They charge you interest every month, and whatever your interest is, they taking it out of that, your limit basically too. They take any money off the top. So now they saying that instead of a $100 balance, if you had $10 in interest, now your balance is 110. They're going to increase your balance. But when you have a 0% APR credit card, they're telling you, you can hold this $100 balance every month. We're not going to charge you any interest as long as you pay it by December 24, 2024. So that's why I wanted to point out that if you do get to the point where you got 0% APR credit cards, make sure you mark it so that you can remember to pay that statement balance by that due date. And usually this is the statement date. And like I said, please research. I want to kind of make it, it's probably when we one of the videos you learn credit where you need to rewatch it, because all of this stuff that I'm telling you, it took me years to find this stuff out and learn it, to be honest. But now I gotta really put it into my daughter. I'm trying to talk like in, just at a high school level so she can understand about credit. But you list all your credit cards here. You list the due date. I will put, the ones that's due first, ones that due last. You put whatever your balance is right here, your limit is right here, and it will tell you what your current percentage is for your utilization. Again, I want this number to be at 5% or below, and when I want to apply for new credit. Or if you want to just always keep your credit good, just make sure that this is at 5% or below. So let's just act like we want to figure out this Capital One. So right now is 50%. Okay. To be at 5%, they saying our balance must be $10. So what I like to do is I like to do the $100 minus the 10, and whatever's left, that's what I make sure I pay, which is going to be $90. If some of you guys are like, Rakita, I'm going through a lot right now, I can't keep no 5% balance on my credit cards, then maybe you need to just get your credit cards down to 50%, because maybe you got a credit card like this that is at 83%, and all you need to really do is just bring it down to 50, which means you need to pay an extra $1,000 to get this one down to 50. Because if it's at, look at the numbers now, if it's at $2,500 and the current utilization percentage is 83%, then to get down to the 1,500, you need to pay $1,000. So let's act like this turned into 1,500. Then this number right here should be at 50. So yep, it is at 50. And when you do that, you're not only with your credit cards, like utilization is going to be very, very important. You need to learn it. That's kind of why I'm just saying a little bit about it now. But not only do I want each of your individual cards, honestly, to be at that 5% or below, but I want your overall utilization to be good, because you can get to the point where you pay off some of these credit cards. Like you like, oh, I never keep a balance on Capital One like that. And we just have a 5% utilization. Look how much it goes down though with overall, because this overall should be at 5% too. And this 5%, some people might not like that I'm saying this. This 5% is basically if you want to always be available, like at any point in time, we can check your credit today. This is the best credit score you could ever have, really. That's what that is. You can always be at like a 30% utilization, or like even at the 28% utilization. as soon as you pay it down, your credit score is going to go up. So you guys have to learn about credit scores going up and down too if you're very, very new to credit. But even if you guys don't understand this too, if you do have a high utilization, it's not the end of the world. All you have to do is just pay it down. Once you pay down your credit cards, your utilization is going to get better and your credit score is going to go up. Okay, but this is the utilization tracker that I use. You can find it right here on my website, utilization sheet. Just rakita.com. You'll be able to find it there, and hopefully that would be very helpful to you all, because that's what I use too. Like right now, I still have 0% APR credit cards. And with my 0% APR credit cards, I'm not going to be applying for credit anytime soon. I don't want to apply for any new credit, honestly, until November, maybe October. So when I apply for new credits with the for new credit, when since I got the 0% APR credit card and I'm holding a balance, I'm holding a balance on these credit cards. My credit score right now is not the best because I'm holding a balance on a credit card. Now, right now, I wouldn't dare apply for anything because I know my credit score is not the best. I'm holding a balance on credit cards because they 0% APR. So when I go and apply for credit in November, my goal is to make sure that all of my credit cards are at 5% or below, because even though my credit score is not the best today, I know why it's not, because I got 0% APR credit cards and I'm holding a balance on them. As soon as I pay those off, my credit score is going to shoot back up. If not, it's going to shoot back up to where it was at before I put the balance on the credit card. Because once you put the balance on, you're going to see your credit score go down. You're going to see it. But it probably go even higher because now I'm growing even more history. I had credit cards, like even one of them, I'm still going to pay it off early because I don't technically have to pay it off until February 2024, but I want to get credit in November. And I want to make sure I have the best credit score possible in November. So I'm going to technically pay those credit cards down just so I can have the highest credit score. The higher your credit score is, the lower your balance is on those credit cards, companies are going to throw credit cards at you. If they see that you maxing out your credit cards, you only paying a minimum on your credit cards, they're not going to be looking to give you a very high limit because they think you're going to just max out their credit card. Okay, so that's why I think that you guys definitely need to get into that utilization tracker and just start tracking your credit cards, knowing where your utilization is at. And when you get to where I'm at, where it's like, okay, November is here, I need to apply in November, so I need to have everything cleared up, and obviously in October. So since I need to have it cleared up in October, I need to go through there and say, okay, I need my utilization at this number, how much I need to pay. That's what I would do. So I definitely want you guys to get that. Now, sometimes when you guys apply for credit cards, let's actually look at an application too. Let's actually see what these applications is hitting for. Let's see what you guys going to have to do when you apply for any credit card. And let me see, which credit card should you apply for, like a good application. I like an application where everything is on one screen. I think we might can get everything on one screen with Discover, but let me get you guys off of my screen first. Let's look at like the Discover application, because since I'm in school and I'm dealing with even my kids, teaching them, I know how important it is for you guys to know how to fill out an application. I know how important it is that you guys fill out applications correctly. So let's kind of look at an application. So I don't look like none of my information is on here. Let me share my screen and let's look at like the Discover credit card. So let's click on credit cards. Now you can get any credit cards, but they do have it where you can Discover, and a lot of companies always see if you can get a credit card that say something like this. See if you're pre-approved with no harm to your credit score. Because what that means is they're going to tell you yes or no, or whether or not they're going to give you a credit card without giving you a hard inquiry. Every time you apply for a credit card and you tell them they can pull your credit, it's going to be a hard inquiry. Those hard inquiries is going to lower your credit score. If you got too many of them, you look desperate. Okay. And you look very, very desperate. So you don't want to have too many hard inquiries. You want to only have very few. And after about a year and a half to 2 years, they're going to get removed from your credit reports. But while they're there, they're going to look very, very bad. So let's actually do the Discover It Cashback card. Let's click on Apply Now. And they're saying, let's say you some time, what's your zip code, what's the last 4 of your social, and what's your date of birth. And I'm going to do skip this step only because I want to see that full on application. Okay, let me see how much of the application. Okay, so this is all we're going to see here. We're going to go somewhere else too, because I want to just show you multiple applications. So with Discover, you can pick any credit card you want. And I don't even see my credit card on here that I have with Discover. I got one with Polar Bears. Everybody loved my credit card. But with Discover, let's not get off track. You can pick a design for your credit card. You can pick a design. So I love. Let's pick the kitten for now. So we're gonna pick the little cute little kitten. What they want is they want your information. So all information is required unless marked as optional. So they want your name, your address, your date of birth, your employment status, your monthly housing or rent payment. So whatever your mortgage is, whatever your rent. If you're sharing, like if you have a roommate and you're not paying that full rent by yourself, then you could just put your portion there. What's your total gross income? That's before taxes, you guys. So definitely put on here what's your total gross income, and that's for the whole year. Sometimes they'll say total gross monthly. If they don't say monthly, I'm assuming that they stand for the year. So see how much you make per year. If you don't know what that number is, look on, I think your W-2s. You can see on your W-2 like how much you make last year. If you making more this year, then if you want to know your gross, just put whatever it would be if you was not to get anything taken out of your taxes. If you get paid $25 an hour, you work 40 hours a week, then do 25 times 40, which should be 1,000 a week, and you got 52 weeks in a year. So you'll put on here you make $52,000. Remember, the higher this number is, the better chance you have of actually getting approved for the credit card, because you have more income, they believe, to go towards paying it back if for some reason you do not pay your credit card, or if you get the credit card, you have a greater chance of just paying it back just with the minimum payment. And then put your email address in here. Now this screen looks kind of funny. It looks like some of it is still not loaded, so it could be more to this application. But once you do all of that, you have to make sure that you read like the disclosure. And remember, I told you interest rates are like 29%, 24 to 9%. So this one is definitely 29%. Your due date is at least 25 days after the close of each billing cycle, at least 23 days of billing periods that begin in February. So they'll tell you what your due date is. Just make sure you stay on top of that. If you are charged interest, the charge will be no less than 50 cents. So if you owe technically 25 cents in interest, they're going to do a minimum of 50-cent charge. So I just say pay your statement balance by the due date and avoid that. This one, the annual fee is none. And reading all of this, a lot of, I don't want to say adults because I'm still thinking about talking to my daughter, but a lot of people don't read this. They literally apply for a credit card. They don't know this. I do suggest that you guys read this so you'll know exactly what's going on. So they got a 0% APR on balance transfers. That's good. But they do charge a 3% fee. So if you're going to put a balance transfer, is when you have a balance on one credit card. So this right here is called Discover. Say the Capital One we've been talking about. Say if you had $1,000 balance on that and you want to move that $1,000 to this credit card, because they're going to give you 15 months of no interest, meaning you can sit that $1,000 on, you can just keep the $1,000 on this card with only making a minimum payment. They're still going to charge you $30 for it. Yeah, they're gonna charge you $30 to do that, to hold a balance on here, and that's your balance transfer fee. And then they talk about other penalties if you late. None the first time you pay late, but after that they're gonna charge you $41. If you have a return payment, they're gonna charge you $41 too. So definitely continue to read this and click submit once you fill out the complete application. But that's what this application looked like. You got so many other companies out there. So let's look at like Capital One. So Capital One have multiple credit cards, and you might find that some of these applications just look different. So let's go ahead and just apply for one of the Capital Ones. And Capital One, it seemed like they're not going to give you everything at once. They got one through eight. They got different stages. So you're going to find that they're not going to let you go to the next step until you just put in every piece of information one step at a time. But you know what? This is really good because um it'll help you just make sure you fill out everything correctly, and sometimes you won't realize that some areas are red and that's why it's not going through. Just, your first time filling out the application. I have filled out plenty of applications in the past. Maybe you can find some of my original videos and check those out to know exactly how you can fill out some of these applications. But some, let me say this, when it come down to a lot of these credit cards, a lot of them not going to ask you for verification of income. They're not going to say, oh, let's send you your check stub. Some of them are not going to do that. You're going to find those when they don't trust you in terms of you trying to get a $10,000, $20,000 credit, or you're trying to get a credit card with a higher limit, then you're going to find that they're going to want you to show proof of income. A lot of times they probably just want you to verify your identity. Once you verify your identity, they'll give you the credit card. But say if, like I said, oh, you're going to calculate your gross income. If you put on there as your income is $52,000, they're a lot of times not going to ask for a verification of income. And if companies do ask for verification of income, I'm not telling y'all to put anything on the application. I'm not telling y'all to lie. All I'm telling you that if they ask for verification and for some reason you lied on the application, go to the next application, okay? And I'm not saying to lie about your income, but some people get stuck and they're like, oh my gosh. And it's like, that company asked you for verification. These other companies not going to ask you. And if you know you can't come up with verification for certain things, maybe you get paid under the table. I don't know, whatever the thing is. Find a credit card that's not going to ask you for that verification that credit card asks you for. So understand that. And then your employment status, a lot of times they're not going to verify that. They'll verify that on your credit report. But they do want you to be 18 to get your credit cards. If you're under 18, ask your parents to add you as an authorized user. Only if they're doing good, though. If they're not doing good, then don't do it. Or if you're married, ask your spouse. But you got to be 18 to get the credit card. Just looking at my notes to see if there's anything I'm missing, because I just feel like we went over so much already. Tips for another application. So when you do applications, y'all can't go in person and do applications. Like if you go to like a credit union or a bank, a lot of times you can do it right there in person and just verbally tell them everything. But I like to do all my applications myself. I honestly don't like for any teller. I used to work at a bank, nothing against them, but they could press the wrong thing and now you got denied and you like, how I get denied? They got to go through all these other loopholes. I don't know. I just know how to fill out my own application. I would just suggest I fill it out right on my phone or on my computer, but a lot of times just fill it out right on my phone. It's so much easier. And then you got autofill on your iPhone. You got autofill so much stuff. So definitely you can do it online or in person. And when you submit your application, they should give you an answer right then and there. And if they say you sometimes on the application, let me actually Google a message so that you can understand like the different messages. Let me see. Oh, so like this right here. So let me see. Okay, so sometimes when you apply for a credit card, maybe they may not approve you and they'll give you a message like this. They'll say, unfortunately, we were unable to approve you for your application at this time. Now, if you see, unfortunately, we're unable to approve you for application at this time, sometimes they'll tell you a next step. Sometimes they'll say, hey, you got a freeze on your credit report. We can't see your credit reports. Maybe they don't even like your credit at all. That's why they denied you. And then sometimes they may say, hey, you'll hear from us in 5 to 7 business days. Now, this is the thing. Whenever you get denied for any type of credit, they're supposed to send you something in the mail to tell you exactly why they denied you. And they supposed to let you know where they got your credit reports from, in terms of, hey, we pulled your credit report from TransUnion. This was your credit score at the time. We pulled your credit report and we're denying you for these different reasons. If they put on there, I know not if, when they put on there the reasons, that's what you know that you need to fix, you need to work on. So definitely don't just, when you get denied, don't just like, oh, I just got denied and I'm not thinking about it no more. Wait to see what they say in the mail. And sometimes too, if it's your very, very first credit card, we're talking 18, 19, whatever your age is, your very first credit card, they need to probably just verify your identity. You don't have a credit score. You don't probably have a credit report. So they probably going to tell you in the, hey, we're going to reach out to you in 5 to 7 business days, 7 to 10 business days. They could be telling you that too, so that they could ask you for verification of your identity. I had that happen too. Even now, I get that sometimes. Hey, we just want to verify your identity, and they want to send me a letter. So keep that in mind. Some of them may not give you approval right away, but that don't mean that you're just denying. They need to verify your identity. And usually comment the reasons why they may deny you depending on your credit cards. You may have too many hard inquiries, too many recent late payments, too many late payments in general, even from the past. Um, Recent delinquent accounts. You may have a bankruptcy on your credit report and that company don't like bankruptcies. Maybe you spent too much on your credit cards. They don't like they usually say like the proportion of your available balance or proportion to the balance on your credit card compared to your limits, meaning that they don't like your utilization. You spent too much money on your other credit cards and they don't trust you enough to give you a credit card. So those can be some of the things, but all you got to do is just fix these and you can apply again for that credit card, or you can move on and go to another credit card. Make sure you're using your credit cards responsibly. I said this already. Please use your credit cards responsibly. If you're not using your credit card responsibly, now you're setting up bad habits and you're going to mess up your future basically. Because now if you don't use your credit cards responsibly, you get you a credit card after about 180 days of not paying it. They're going to do something called charge it off. Once they charge it off, that's going to look so bad on your credit report. Okay. And not only is that going to look bad, but they're going to say, if you owe them $1,000, instead of them coming after you to just get the $1,000, they're going to sell it to another company, which is a collection company that's going to come after you for the money. So now you got one account that's the charge off, but you had a second account that get added to your credit report as a collection. And those accounts could be hard to get removed from your credit reports. But it would have been better off if you just stayed the track with your first credit card, or not let it become a charge off, or you knew it became a charge off. Try to see if you can settle it right away with them before they sell it to a new company. Because, like I said, you can have two accounts on your credit reports for the same day, and it's like having to pay twice for it. And that's not good. So make sure you're using credit cards responsibly and put all of your credit cards on auto pay. Like, as soon as I get approved for a credit card, I'll automatically add it on auto pay. Like, say if I get approved right now, I'm adding on auto pay right now, because late payments was something that really messed me up in the past. And the last late payment I got on my credit report, my credit score went down 89 points. And if you're beginning to know about credit, you may not know how much that is, but just know that that stopped me from getting another credit card for like a year and a half. Like, it took me, it stopped a lot. And when it come down to late payments too, when you get late payments on your credit reports, it's not like any other account where you're trying to remove it from your credit reports, because you still got that account. So you can't threaten them, say I'm gonna sue them. You can't say certain things to them, especially knowing you was late. You gotta beg them to remove a late payment. Okay. So just don't mess around and find out. Okay. Just set up on auto pay the statement balance by the due date. You're going to have the minimum payment and you're going to have your statement balance. Um, Pay the statement balance by the due date, so you don't care what the interest rate is. You'll never be charged interest. Remember I said they may charge you extra $30 just to use their credit card, or extra $10 depending on whatever your balance is because of the interest rate. They won't charge you anything. Nothing at all. You'll never have to pay them any extra money out your pocket, because when you spend some money, you pay them back right away. They're not going to charge you any money. So I want you guys to stay in the habit of doing that. And let me see. I think that's kind of everything when it come down to these credit cards. definitely make sure you guys go to my website, rakita.com, though, and see the different credit cards that are there. I want to see if I can answer any questions that's in the comments. Keep in mind that I do want to go live more and do like these, I want to say like a presentation thing where I'm just going straight through, just telling y'all about getting your first credit card, and then I'll answer questions at the end. If for some reason you watching like a previous live or you watching any of my videos, I'm answering all the comments of my subscribers. If you're subscribed, I'm going to answer your question or respond to your comment. If you're not subscribed, I'm not going to focus on those. I literally press a button to say only public subscribers, just so I can make sure that if you took the time to subscribe to me, I'm going to answer your question. And then you guys know I'm very big on making videos based off the questions that you guys ask. So ask your questions now, because once I'm done with these, you guys, I got a lot of letters I need to get done, and then I need to do housework. I gotta fold my clothes that I washed today. That took me forever. So I'm gonna answer these questions now. Oh, hey, Toya. I will be coming back to you soon because I messed mine up again. I learned to learn my journey. I'm signing up soon. Yeah, you know how many times I've messed my credit up? I ain't messing up no more. I've been so responsible for a long time now, but I'm 32 right now, and I started having credit at 18. So it's been a journey. So yes, I, I definitely I can try to do the shopping cart trick to see if it's gonna work. We definitely still have that. Check out some of the YouTube videos with shopping cart trick. Just fill out the link and we'll try it. I destroyed mine before too, but don't forget to, once you destroy your credit, you can always get it back together. And now you know what it's like to mess up. You cannot go back. Like sit in it, like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this, and that. Because now when you get it fixed, you're not gonna mess it up. Kind of like now I just started back running again. I have so many medals now. I've been running like crazy, and I'm trying to lose more weight, but um in the fall, that semester, when I went to school previously, because I went back to school because I'm working my way to law school right now. So previously, when I went to school, I failed so many classes by not just going to them, and they gave me Fs. So I took 11 classes that semester to do like grade forgiveness, and I gained 25 pounds. So I told myself, listen, you won't even have to do grade forgiveness if you did it right the first time. So I felt that, and I had to pay cash out of pocket for those classes. So I felt that too. Um, and on top of that, I gained the 25 pounds. So now I'm like, okay, I need to lose weight again. So I used to be able to run my 5Ks, and I got to the point where I ran them all the way through, but I had to start over from scratch. And I just been training. Like, it's this app, the 5K tracker. It's supposed to get you to running a 5K all the way through. So I got to run for like 40 minutes straight. It takes me 8 weeks. So about 7 weeks ago, because I'll be there next Friday, 7 weeks ago, I started off just running 30, running 1 minute, walking 1 minute, running 1 minute, walking 1 minute. But I just ran yesterday, Friday. They had me running 25 minutes straight, and I did it. Like, I was like dying, but I did it. So think about it like credit cards. You got to start off probably with some secure ones because you messed up. You at your run 1 minute, walk a minute, but you're gonna keep getting your way back up to being able to run 40 minutes straight or 35 minutes straight for the 5K. If you guys can understand like how I kind of put that, you can't just go back to the top, but just sit in it and be like, oh, I gotta start all over to do this, but I'm gonna do it, and I'm not messing up no more. And don't be mean to yourself. Like, I just got done finishing a book called The Four Agreements that I really think has really changed my life a lot. And you can't take anything personally. That's something I learned. And then also, you just got to be kind to yourself, and you got to let stuff go. That's basically what it is. Oh my gosh, you need to talk to me on the phone. Don't say that. That's hilarious. And I still messed up anyway. So like, I talk to myself a lot. I've messed up. Like, we mess up. I talked to you about your running, your children, your real estate investment, your abuse, your oh yes, yes, yes. But you got this. Y'all just No matter what, just stay strong. Just stay strong and just keep forgiving yourself. The thing is, you got to forgive yourself and you got to keep going. Like this morning, like, let's be honest, it's Saturday. I'm like, I'm worn out. I'm tired. And then um I had honestly, I had a few drinks last night and relaxing. And when I have drinks the next morning, I feel it on my body. So I was like, you know what? I know I'm supposed to read this morning, but I'm gonna scroll. And so I'm watching YouTube videos, and I was gonna be mad at myself because once you get out that mind of scrolling, it's procrastination for me. You kind of feel bad, and I was like, nope, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. It's okay. You got something out of it, which I did. It was something that made me happy within it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna let you pass on this. Like that's what I'm telling myself. I'm gonna give you a pass. I'm not gonna talk about myself. I'm gonna be nice to myself. And I'm like, just for now, the rest of the day, just do what you gotta do. And honestly, y'all, I was supposed to go live for the last few days. And look, I'm going live now. So it's like just be nice to yourself. You messed up your credit. It is what it is. Just get back on it because guess what? If you don't do it now, you're gonna be beating yourself up a year from now, saying you should have just started. So do the first step. Do the first step and schedule a call if you need to talk again, because I definitely try to help you figure out whatever you need to do. But I hope that this video helped someone get their first credit card. If you guys are having a hard time getting a credit card, don't forget on my website, I definitely do have a link where you guys can schedule a call to talk to me or somebody on my team. So you guys can definitely click right here and schedule a call. I'll be happy to help you guys. And again, this is one more thing I want to say about credit cards because I think people take credit cards the wrong way, and I think a credit card is so differently now. When you first start getting credit cards, you may find that you want certain credit cards. You may say, "Oh, I want the Capital One credit card," or "I want the Discover It credit card. I want that cash back one," or "Oh, I want this Wells Fargo credit card." If that credit card do not approve you, it's not the end of the day. You have to find out, what did you like about that credit card. Maybe you like that credit card gave you 1% back on all your purchases. Maybe you like that credit card gave you a $200 bonus. Maybe you like that credit card have 15 months of 0% APR. There's other credit cards out there that have those same exact things. You need to find those credit cards and pre-qualify for them. If you're finding that you're pre-qualifying for a lot of credit cards and you're not getting approved, you're just not equipped it for that credit card. That's it. You're just not equipped it for it. Meaning you ain't got your credit together. You don't have your money together because you're holding a balance on a credit card, and they just don't like you. They don't like your credit report, should I say. And that's fine. If a credit card don't like you, if they don't like your credit report, they don't like you. That's how I look at it. And that's fine. Go find another credit card that can give you what you want. And if you find that these credit cards are not giving you what you want, you might need to start off with a lesser credit card. Maybe you can't get a credit card that got the 5% back. Maybe you can't get it. I mean, that's a big perk. Maybe you can't get a credit card that's going to give you a $200 bonus because you don't have $200 bonus credit yet. But get yourself to the point where you do have that. So if you're at the point where you're trying to build your credit, just follow these basic things that I tell myself. Like, I try to keep credit so simple now because I used to think it was so complicated. This is what I think about when you're trying to build credit. Get you 4 credit cards. Make sure none of these credit cards have an annual fee if you can help it, because you want to start off. This is your foundation. Get you 4 credit cards and get you 2 installment accounts. I was going to say revolve, but get you 2 installment accounts. These are like, maybe if you already got student loans, you already got installment accounts. Maybe if you already got a car, that's an installment account. Get these accounts, put all of them on auto pay. Never let any of your credit cards report more than 5%. And once you do that, if you just do that, never let them report more than 5%. Pay your statement balance by the due date. And just paying them on time, your credit will be so nice. Even with those credit cards, because eventually you're going to grow age and history. Once you do that, when you go and apply for a credit card, you know you're going to get it. If they don't give it to you, something is wrong. And some companies, if they don't give you a credit card, you really thought you should have got that credit card, call them, you guys. And they have, some credit cards have something called a reconsideration line where they'll be able to see if they can reconsider you for a credit card. call them. And if you find that you get a credit card and you wanted a, say if you apply for a credit card and you wanted a $5,000 limit, but they only gave you $2,000, and you like, what the, whatever you want to say, call them and see if you can get an increase, because a lot of credit cards, when I applied for them, I didn't get the limit I want. I asked right then and there. As soon as I got approved for an increase, I'll call them up, or I'll download it, get all connected into my app, get my get my account all the way open, and then I'll ask for an increase in the app. If they don't give you an increase right away, you can always go back in a month or two as you keep building your credit and ask for an increase. Okay. But the biggest thing is that if one credit card won't give you what you want, go with another one. Period. Like seriously, I had to adopt this mind frame. Like if you can't get it from this credit card, you gotta go with another one. You can be hurting yourself. So just figure out what is it that you liked or you wanted that this credit card had, and find it with another one. Such as if you wanted a certain percentage, but you wanted to get a gas credit card. Did y'all see how many gas credit cards are actually on the list? You like, oh, I wanted to get a car for fuel. Okay, well, it's a lot of credit cards out there that can be a fuel card for you. You just got to figure out which one you like the most. Okay, so you got the Discovery that can give you a gas credit card. The student one, I think, give you 2% back at gas stations and restaurants, I believe. The City Custom Cash can be good for that. You got American Express, you got the Chase Freedom Flex, Wells Fargo Autograph card. It's so many cards out there, y'all. Just on to the next one, okay? You can get a credit card with Wawa. Which one do I do? Oh, listen, this is what I've been loving for my gas. I've been using like 7-Eleven for my gas lately, because 7-Eleven got the thing where I get like a certain amount off per gallon, and I can price lock for 4 days. So whatever the gas is at that time, the lowest in my area, they automatically give me that. So if they ever go higher, I can get that lowest gas. Plus they may give me 11% off, 11 cent off per gallon. And then I can use any of my credit cards. Like if I'm trying to, like right now, if I was to, I think right now, I think I'm putting all of my, yeah, I think I'm putting all my gas on like my Apple credit card, but I can do that right through like the app. And Apple, as long as you're using Apple Pay, you get 2% back. So just find out what it is you liked on that one credit card and see if you can get it in another credit card, okay? And if for some reason you still not getting it on any of the credit cards, you really need to build your credit. That's really what it is. But I hope that you guys have a great night and a great day. And then I forgot to say too, I do have the thing, like if you have negative accounts, I do still have the 6 months of free credit help. I extended that because it helps so many people. I was like, you know what, I need to just have that available, because it don't hurt me to, oh, excuse me. It's not hard for me to get that done because I hire people on my team. So you can get the 6 months of free letters. What you have to do is gotta get the mega dispute letter package, but it's 65% off. So I think it's like $67, but you get like over 50 different letters in there, I believe. You get a lot of letters. I want to say, let's not say over 30 for sure, but you got to get the package of letters. It's like $67 to $69. Get a free trial with Aura, because we need to see if you guys have any type of fraud going on. Get all 3 credit reports with the dollar trial for Identity IQ. Complete the application, and then we'll email you your 6 months of free letters. And all you got to do is mail them to the credit bureaus and wait to see those accounts start coming off of your credit reports. So we definitely still have that available. Just go to my website, Rakita.com. Just scroll down and you'll see it at the, I won't say the bottom, but definitely check that out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I plan on going live tomorrow. I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.